September 10, 2006. Michael Schumacher wins the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, climbs onto the podium in front of the Tifosi, and 20 minutes later announces his retirement. The timing made no sense. He was 37, he'd just won. And Ferrari had offered him a 2-year contract extension worth $45 million. The contract sat unsigned for 6 weeks. Then, that Sunday, he walked away. The official story was that Schumacher wanted to leave on top. The real story involves a Finnish driver, a $51 million salary, and a single clause Ferrari refused to remove. This is about the one thing in Formula One that money cannot buy back once it's gone. In late July 2006, Ferrari's board presented Michael Schumacher with a contract extension covering the 2007 and 2008 seasons. The financial terms, $22.5 million per year, totaling $45 million across both seasons. This was in addition to retained image rights and sponsorship income, which would have pushed his total compensation above $60 million. By Formula One standards in 2006, this was a top-tier offer. Only Fernando Alonso at Renault was earning comparable base salary. The contract included performance bonuses tied to race wins and constructor points. It did not include a championship bonus because Ferrari's internal projections for 2007 already assumed Schumacher would not be fighting for the title. That assumption was built into the offer itself. For 6 weeks, the contract sat on Schumacher's desk. He did not sign, he did not formally reject it. According to Luca di Montezemolo's later interviews with La Gazzetta dello Sport, Schumacher asked for 2 modifications. First, he wanted the team to commit to developing the 2007 car around his driving style, as they had done every year since 2000. Second, he wanted a clause guaranteeing him number 1 status within the team hierarchy. Ferrari said no to both. The reason was simple. They had already signed someone else. In late August 2006, 3 weeks before Monza, Ferrari finalized a 3-year contract with Kimi Räikkönen. The deal ran from 2007 through 2009. Base salary, $51 million per season, or $153 million total. This made Räikkönen the highest-paid driver in Ferrari history. The previous record had been Schumacher's own $35 million season in 2005. Räikkönen was 26 years old. He had not yet won a world championship, but McLaren had built their 2005 and 2006 campaigns around him, and Ferrari's technical director, Ross Brawn, believed Räikkönen's driving style would suit the direction of the 2007 aerodynamic regulations. The contract included one additional clause. It specified that Räikkönen would be Ferrari's number 1 driver from his first race. Felipe Massa, already under contract through 2008, would remain as number 2. There was no seat for a third driver. This clause was non-negotiable. Ferrari had learned from McLaren's mistakes. In 2007, McLaren would implode under the pressure of managing 2 equal number 1s, Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. Ferrari did not want that problem. They wanted a clear hierarchy. And the hierarchy did not include Michael Schumacher. When Ferrari presented Schumacher with the final version of the $45 million contract in early September, the terms had changed. He would remain with the team through 2008. He would earn the same salary, but he would race as the number 2 driver behind Räikkönen. For a man who had won 71 of his 91 Ferrari victories and who had benefited from team orders in Austria 2002, Indianapolis 2005, and a dozen other races, the role reversal was unthinkable. Schumacher did not negotiate. He did not ask for more money. According to Mark Jenkins's book Performance at the Limit, Schumacher told Ferrari's senior management that if he could not race as number 1, he would not race at all. The decision was made in private, sometime between September 6th and September 9th. On the morning of September 10th, hours before the Italian Grand Prix, Schumacher informed his race engineer and team principal Jean Todt that he would announce his retirement immediately after the race. He did not tell Luca di Montezemolo in advance. He did not tell Felipe Massa. The Tifosi learned at the same time as the press. Schumacher walked into the Ferrari hospitality unit after the podium ceremony and read a prepared statement. He thanked the team. He did not mention Räikkönen. He did not mention the contract. By walking away in September 2006, Schumacher forfeited $45 million in guaranteed salary. But the financial loss extended beyond the unsigned contract. Had he stayed through 2007 and 2008, Ferrari's internal performance reviews suggest he would likely have been offered a single-year extension for 2009 at approximately $20 million. Total potential earnings across 3 seasons, $65 million. He also forfeited the commercial value of remaining a Ferrari driver. His existing sponsorship deals with Shell, Vodafone, and Omega included performance clauses tied to active racing. Those clauses expired when he retired. Estimated loss, another $12 million across 2007 and 2008. Finally, there is the compounding cost. Schumacher returned to Formula One in 2010 with Mercedes. His 3-year contract was worth approximately $90 million total, but he won 0 races. His peak market value as a 7-time champion who had just retired at the top would have been significantly higher had he stayed with Ferrari through 2008 and then moved to Mercedes in 2009 on his own terms. The total financial cost of the September 2006 decision, between forfeited Ferrari salary, lost sponsorships, and diminished comeback value, was approximately $120 million. He walked away from all of it rather than accept number 2 status. Kimi Räikkönen justified Ferrari's $51 million bet in his first season. He won the 2007 World Championship by a single point over Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso. Ferrari won the Constructors' title, the investment paid off, but the 2007 season was also Räikkönen's peak. In 2008, he finished 3rd in the championship behind Hamilton and Massa. In 2009, his form collapsed entirely. He finished 6th. Ferrari had already decided to replace him with Fernando Alonso for 2010, but Räikkönen's contract ran through 2009. The solution? Ferrari paid him $25 million to not race in 2010, a story we covered separately as Vault Story 26. Across his 3-year Ferrari stint, Räikkönen earned approximately $140 million, 1 championship, 18 race wins, and one of the most expensive exits in Formula One history. Meanwhile, Schumacher watched the 2007 season from retirement. In interviews, he admitted he had expected Ferrari to struggle without him. They did not. Räikkönen won the title by 1 point. Schumacher later told Autosport that the hardest part of retirement was not the lost races. It was realizing the team did not need him anymore. That realization cost $45 million. In Formula One, salary is not the same as status. Schumacher's $45 million offer from Ferrari was financially competitive, but it came with a condition he could not accept: subordination to Kimi Räikkönen. For a driver who had built Ferrari into a dynasty, who had won 5 consecutive championships between 2000 and 2004, the idea of playing second to a younger driver was existentially unacceptable. This was not about ego, it was about market positioning. A driver's value in Formula One is determined not just by results, but by perceived hierarchy. If Schumacher had accepted number 2 status in 2007, every subsequent contract negotiation, whether with Ferrari, Mercedes, or any other team, would have referenced that decision. He would have permanently devalued himself. Walking away preserved his market position. When he returned with Mercedes in 2010, he commanded $30 million per year, even at age 41. The comeback produced no wins, but the salary reflected his historical status, not his current performance. Ferrari, meanwhile, learned a different lesson. Paying Räikkönen $51 million to be number 1 worked, for 1 year. Then it didn't. The same hierarchy that justified Schumacher's exit became the reason Ferrari paid Räikkönen $25 million to leave. Status is expensive, but so is the absence of it. Michael Schumacher walked away from $45 million because Ferrari offered him money without status. The contract would have made him the 2nd highest paid driver on the grid in 2007, but it would also have made him the 2nd most important driver in his own garage. That was the line. Schumacher had spent 6 years as Ferrari's undisputed number 1. He had won 5 championships under a system that prioritized his results over everyone else's. He was not willing to reverse that hierarchy, even for $45 million. The financial cost was real. The strategic cost would have been permanent. Ferrari moved on. Räikkönen won the championship in 2007. Schumacher returned with Mercedes 3 years later and earned 90 million for 0 wins. Both decisions were expensive, but only one preserved the driver's long-term value. If you want the full breakdown of how Ferrari paid Räikkönen to leave and why it cost them another 25 million, head to the vault at ruhellorenz.gumroad.com/ll/DBG. All sources, all numbers, no fluff. Thanks for watching.